The first time I saw the string, it was tied to my front door handle. It was plain, white, and stretched tight, like someone had pulled it from somewhere far away and anchored it right there, waiting for me. I almost didn't touch it. In fact, I stood there for a full minute, groceries slipping in my arms, keys still in the lock, just staring at it like it might move on its own. It didn't, it just hung there, silent and patient. Curiosity won. I set the groceries down, reached out, and tugged gently. The string didn't budge. It wasn't tied to something, it was something tense, alive in a way I couldn't explain. Like pulling it would mean committing to something I didn't yet understand. I should have cut it, closed the door, ignored it. Instead, I followed it. It led down the hallway of my apartment building, past doors I'd never seen open, past the flickering light that management never fixed. The string stayed taut, brushing along the floor, turning corners like it knew exactly where it was going. I remember thinking, someone is messing with me, asterisk. But no prank I'd ever seen had this kind of commitment. This thing felt intentional, purposeful. By the time I reached the stairwell, I'd stopped questioning it. I was just going down 3 flights, out the back door, into the alley. The city felt different out there, quieter, like someone had turned the volume down. Cars passed on the street, but their sound felt distant. Even the wind seemed to move around me instead of through me. The string continued, sliding over cracked pavement and puddles, leading me out to the main road. And that's when I noticed. No one else seemed to see it. People walked past, stepped over it without reacting, didn't even glance down. A woman crossed right over the line, her heel pressing into it, and the string didn't move, didn't slack, didn't break. It was like it existed only for me. I should have stopped there. Instead, I kept following. For blocks. Through streets I knew and then streets I didn't. The buildings changed, the sidewalks narrowed. The air got heavier, like a storm was coming, but the sky stayed clear. Eventually, the string led me to a house. Not abandoned. Not broken. Just quiet. It sat between 2 others that looked normal enough, but this one felt like it had been forgotten. The paint wasn't peeling, the windows weren't boarded, but something about it made my chest tighten. The string ran straight up the front steps and disappeared under the door. I stood at the bottom for a long time. That feeling again, that this was the point where I could still walk away. Where I probably should walk away. Instead, I climbed the steps. The door wasn't locked. Of course it wasn't. I pushed it open slowly, half expecting something to jump out, to prove this was all some elaborate setup. Nothing did. Inside, the house was clean. Not staged clean, lived in clean. A couch with a folded blanket. A coffee mug on the table. A pair of shoes by the door. And the string. Still there. It stretched across the living room, down a hallway, and disappeared into a room at the end. I followed it, my footsteps quieter than they should have been, like the house was absorbing the sound. Each step made my heartbeat louder. Each second felt heavier. Until I reached the door. Closed. The string slipped underneath it, pulling slightly, like it was urging me forward. I reached for the handle. Stopped. And for the first time since I saw the string, a thought cut through everything else. What if something on the other side is waiting for me specifically? Asterisk. Not something random. Not something accidental. Something that knew I would follow. Something that needed me too. I almost turned back. Almost. But curiosity isn't just strong, it's stubborn. So I opened the door. The room was empty. No furniture. No windows. Just bare walls and a single light hanging from the ceiling. And the string. It didn't stop this time. It ended. Right in the center of the room. Tied in a small loop. Like it had been waiting for a hand. My hand. I stared at it, trying to make sense of what I was looking at. 100 explanations ran through my head, each one falling apart before it fully formed. Finally, I did the one thing I'd been building toward this entire time. I reached out. And I put my finger through the loop. Everything changed. Not with a flash. Not with a sound. but with a feeling. Like stepping into a memory that wasn't mine. The room faded, not disappeared, just became less important. And suddenly, I wasn't alone. I couldn't see anyone. But I could feel them. Dozens, hundreds. All connected. All holding their own strings. Each one leading somewhere different. Each one ending in a loop. And then it hit me. This wasn't about being led. It was about choosing to follow. Every string was an invitation. Every loop, a decision. A path you didn't know you were walking until you were already at the end. And the moment you touched it, you became part of something bigger. Something that had been quietly threading people together, one choice at a time. I pulled my hand back. The room snapped into focus again. The string fell limp to the floor. Just a piece of white thread now. Harmless. Meaningless. Or at least, it looked that way. I stood there, breathing hard, trying to decide if what I felt was fear, or something else. Something closer to awe. When I got back to my apartment, the door was exactly as I'd left it. No string. No sign anything had happened. Just silence. Normal, comfortable silence. I told myself it was over. That whatever it was, it had chosen me once and that was it. Until the next morning. When I opened my door. And saw another string. This one wasn't white. It was red. And it was already pulling tight.